I'm the Executive Director of Trees Matter. Our mission is to inspire and promote an increased tree canopy valley-wide. And today I'm going to show you some of my trees here in my backyard that not only provide shade and wildlife and other amazing things, but most importantly to me, they provide food. And just a little history about myself. I am from Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised, lived right by Piestewa Park, and I love learning all about our local trees and trees that have come here from other places. So let me take you through our yard and show you some of my favorite trees. One of my favorite trees in my yard, which is our mission fig tree. So this tree, it was a tiny sapling, little 3-5 gallon tree. I got it in Tucson, and it's original cutting from the Spanish missionaries that came. And so what's really cool about mission fig trees and all fig trees is that they propagate through cuttings. So not only do you plant a fig cutting, but when your tree's dormant, you can actually take a cutting and give it to a friend so that they can also have a fig tree. So that's a really neat part of having fig trees, is that there's always room to share and propagate more. One thing that I love, if you see, we have giant fig leaves. These leaves are amazing for shade. If you just look inside here, it is much shadier in there. So these trees can be actually pruned up and trained for shade trees. Now, one caveat to that is if you are looking for production of food, these trees are going to be great for that, but it's going to be higher up if you train the canopy up. So that's something to think about. My tree is only 2 years old, so I haven't trained it completely to go up. I'll probably do another pruning. We only want to prune about 25% max of the tree at one time. It's always great to do it when it's dormant. So these trees drop all their leaves in the winter. So if you get one of these trees, that's okay. It's not dead. It's just resting for winter, and it'll be back. This tree had no leaves on it 2 months ago. And now it's just proliferating with leaves and fruit. Let's find some fruit here to show. Look at all of that. So there's going to be probably over 100, if not hundreds of fruit that'll be ready. Typically, fig trees produce fruit between June all the way to October, and you can have second yields. So they're a great tree, and they're really worth the water. So we're showcasing low to moderate water use trees since we're working with City of Phoenix Conservation. And these trees are more on the moderate side. They're from the Mediterranean area. They came from Arabia over to the Mediterranean, and then the Spaniards brought them over here. But they've been here for hundreds of years now. So we know they do well in our climate. They can adjust to our soils. They can deal with the freezes, but they can also deal with extreme heat. They do love full sun, but you do need to water them. So they'll take about 25 to 35 inches of water a year. During growing season, you want to at least water 2 times a month. I water my fig tree about that anyway, and as with any tree, the more you water it, the more it'll take it. There's very few trees that we have that get upset if you water it too much. Obviously, drainage is important for any tree, especially our fruit-bearing trees. So with that being said, I would recommend grabbing a fig tree from your neighbor or a local nursery, or if you can get down to Tucson and find one of those original figs that the Spaniards brought over. And one other thing to consider is when you prune these trees, always wear gloves, or when you're harvesting, wear gloves, because the sap that comes out is actually can cause irritation with the skin. So that's something else to think about when you're harvesting. And there's plenty of amazing recipes out there to utilize in baking with figs, using them in salads. A lot of people like mixing them with cream and honey, putting them in porridges or cereals. So you have tons of ways, and it's a great present to give to friends and neighbors. And obviously right now, while we're all sitting here in our yards, this is such a great tree to enjoy year round.